Hi guys, my name is Christine, and today I'm talking about how to get from where you are currently to where you ultimately want to be in the future. So this video is all about starting from the place where you're at now and aiming to get yourself to a place where you want to be in the future. So the first thing that's really important that you need to get clear on is what your goals are. What is that future for you? Where do you want to go? What would you like to have? Who would you like to share it with? How much money do you want to be making? What do you want your body and health and fitness to look like? If you have a business, what would you like your business to look like? If you have like a blog or a YouTube channel, what do you want that to look like? So one of the best methods I've seen when it comes to goal setting, and I highly recommend that you adopt it yourself, and that is in Jim Rohn's book, 7 strategies for wealth and happiness. And in there's a really good outline on, how to, properly set some good goals for yourself. It's a really popular way of doing it. Tony Robbins uses that method. I'm not quite sure where Jim Rohn found that method. Perhaps he even created it himself. I don't know. The only far back way I've seen it, as far as it goes, is Jim Rohn. And I've seen Tony Robbins use it as well. They're the only 2 people I've seen use that kind of thing, but I can't see it go back even further. But it could have been something that Jim Rohn learned from Mr. Shove, who he talks about all the time, who was Jim Rohn's mentor. Because basically, Earl Shove, I think it was Earl Shove, but anyway, Jim Rohn called him Mr. Shove. He was Jim Rohn's mentor, and Tony Robbins, and Jim Rohn was Tony Robbins' mentor. Okay, so this is really good goal setting from the best coaches in the world, and their processes that they've used themselves to get them to where they want to be. So I highly recommend that you go and search for that. It might be the case that you might be able to find a video on it somewhere. So go and do some research, so in case you don't want to buy the book. But the book 7 Strategies for Wealth and Happiness has been around for a long time, so it might be the case you might be able to find like a cheap copy of it on eBay. You may even find a PDF of it somewhere, something for free somewhere, or you may even find you can just maybe type it into Google Images and maybe something will come up with that strategy. But the point is that you need to have your goals in place, because if you don't know where you're going, you're like a ship without, a destination. And if a ship just goes off, it could go anywhere. So you need to have, and it's the same with if you're driving a plane, you need to have a destination, because otherwise you could end up literally anywhere. You could end up in the sea, you could end up where you don't really want to be, right? So you got to have an aim, you got to have a goal, right? It's very important that you do that. And I can't remember the exact statistic, but it was something like if you write down a goal, it's like something crazy, like 80 to 90% more likely that you're actually going to achieve it, because you've actually written it down. Like the actual process of writing it down is really important. So you need to get really, really clear on that. So you have to know where you want to go, right? You have to know where you want to be. So the next part, is the tough bit, right? It's the difficult bit. It's the bit that's not going to be easy. And that is, you have to work on it every single day, whatever it may be. So, for example, let's say you have some exercise goals, then you need to start exercising a little bit every day. It doesn't have to be every single day, but let's say in your typical Monday to Sunday sort of week, then you work out Monday to Friday, you exercise Monday to Friday, and then you rest on the weekends. And it goes for loads of other things as well. Let's say you're a student right now, then you need to be studying a little bit every day, or writing a paper, or writing a part of a paper every single day. Now, you don't have to be spending all of your day on it. It could be the case that you need to build up, especially if you've been inconsistent with your goals in the past. It might be the case that, I use this all the time, that you start by just doing 15 minutes, right? So that means 15 minutes of studying, 15 minutes of working out, 15 minutes of working on your YouTube channel or your blog or your online business, whatever it may be that you're trying to achieve, okay? So it's all about chunking things down into manageable sized chunks. It's like the old saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And sometimes the bites are going to be smaller than others. Some days you're only going to feel like doing 15 minutes. And other days you might aim to do 15 minutes. Then you may end up going more and going longer. At least that's what I find as well. Like if I aim to just do 15 minutes or something, I usually end up going past the 15-minute mark and end up doing 30 minutes or even an hour of what I'm doing, right? So it's all about working on it a little bit each day. So what are the things that you need to work on? You've got your list of goals. What are some action steps that you could easily take every single day to help yourself get further, to help yourself get closer? It might be the case that you need to fill in some knowledge gaps and you need to pick up a few books. So that means you might have to do half an hour of reading every day. But the point is, you make a list of things that you can do. You can make a to-do list of things you need to do each day, and you slowly just tick them off one by one, and then you start again the next day. Right? Because what you got to see is like every day is like a fresh new slate. It doesn't really matter what you did yesterday. It all matters what you do today. So you got to see every day as like a brand new day, and you got to work on those goals again today. But don't think of like the process, because sometimes I think what makes people feel overwhelmed is when they think, oh no, I have to do this for 6 months, or no, I have to do this for a year. Like they look at the book that they want to write. Let's say you want to write a book, and they think about the whole book. They don't think about, okay, let's just do one paragraph. Let's just do one page, right? And if you think, if you do one page a day for a year, just one page is something manageable that you could easily fit in, that you could easily do within like half an hour, maybe to an hour, depending on how fast you type, basically, or write. If you do one page a year every day, that's 365 pages, which is pretty much a book. But you can see how you can like chunk things down so it seems more manageable. Don't think about what you need to do tomorrow. Don't think about what you need to do next week. Don't think about the whole book. Just think about what you can do today, and then treat every day like that, right? Don't be thinking about tomorrow. Just think about getting through today and then doing it again tomorrow. Obviously, when you get to tomorrow, then you're just focusing on tomorrow. That's what you got to do, right? You got to focus on the present moment and getting through today. Because if you think on Monday, oh my God, this is all the stuff I need to do this week, that's so overwhelming, then you're more likely to procrastinate. It's going to make you feel uncomfortable. So just think about what you can do today. And it may be the case that it's such a struggle for you, it's such an overwhelming thing for you, that you can only focus on the task at hand. You can only focus on that one thing, that first thing to do on the to-do list. It could be that, you're just focusing on what you can do now. And if you need to do that, then do that. But the point is that you're just doing little bits every single day to help you reach that ultimate goal that can help you get there, that can ultimately get you to where you want to be from where you are, okay? So working on it a little bit each day is the toughest bit. It's the bit that's going to be the most grueling, I guess you could say. But you can always, give yourself a bit of time, because like, just imagine if you do everything that you need to do for that week. Just imagine how good you're going to feel on the weekend, because you're not going to be thinking back on, oh no, I should have done that, I should have done this, or I should have studied more, I shouldn't have procrastinated on that. Because then you've got the whole weekend to just relax and be free. Or it may be the case that you work on the weekends as well, and it may be the case that you only have a few hours in the evening each day. When you get to those few hours that you can slack off and just like relax and watch Netflix or whatever it is that you want to do in your free time, then you're not going to have any like pressures. You're going to think, okay, it doesn't matter. I can just relax now. I studied. I did what I needed to do. And it just gives you such freedom when you've had a day where you've done absolutely everything you needed to do, and you can now just relax and there's no pressures, basically. So one of the important things then, when you're going through this grueling process of, tackling these little things each and every day, and trust me, it's not cute, it's not, it's tough. It's tough to do that kind of thing. Then you need to find a way to keep yourself motivated. So some quick hacks, listen to a motivational video, watch motivational content, listen to something motivational, read a motivational book or something like that. Do whatever it takes basically to keep yourself motivated and driven. And if you can do that, then that's going to help you get through those really tough days. So the important thing then is to find something that really motivates you, right? Something that really puts your head back in the right place. Because sometimes we can get a little bit tired, a little bit fatigued, a little bit upset with the process because perhaps it's taking a long time, and you hear like a famous saying, like it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. It may seem like people become famous overnight, but even though there are certain circumstances where that kind of thing happens, like let's say for example in reality TV shows or something, but most of the time, like lasting success takes years to build, right? And you have to realize that it may take a long time for you to get to where you want to be, but the point is that you're working towards it. And it can seem really unmotivating when you hear something like that, like, oh my god, it's going to take me 10 years, it's going to take me years to get to where I want to be, you know. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is that you need to put in those hours and you need to stay motivated. So you need anything you can grasp, basically, that can help you stay motivated. And I think one of the best things you can do is just try and find something that really motivates you. It might be a song, it might be just a thought, it might be like a visualization type of thing, like you're visualizing your future and that really motivates you, gives you like goosebumps. It could be a certain book that really motivates you. One of my favorite books that is personally a really good motivator for me that helps keep me driven is Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Highly recommend that you get the book yourself or listen to the audiobook version. I think you can find it on Google podcasts. So if you want to listen to that audiobook today, that's the best way to do it. Go to Google Podcasts and you'll be able to find the audiobook there. So that's something that personally helps me. So another thing that you need to do, which is important, is to schedule time off. Right, so that means, it's having those extra hours, it's having those hours in the evening when you've finished everything, or it's having the weekend off. I personally take the weekends off. I don't work on my business or do anything like that during the week. It's purely a Monday to Friday sort of thing, and then on the weekends I just have time to be with my wife, and that's what we do basically. So you need to schedule some time off, because if you're going at it really, really hard, no matter what it is, it could be an intellectual thing, it could be a physical thing, or it could be both. You might be exercising and trying to work on your goals and stuff, which I think most people try to do. Then you're going to get exhausted, you're going to have fatigue. So make sure that you have a good night's sleep. Make sure you get those 8 hours in, or whatever you feel is best for you, because I know some people can do really well on just 6 hours sleep, and if they get more than that, they feel even more tired. So you might have to experiment with your sleep for a while to see how much you can take, what's your sweet spot, what gives you the most energy. But I feel like a good baseline is starting off by just trying to get 8 hours of sleep. And having some time in the evening to cool down, to wind down, to have some time where you can just goof off, and also having maybe some time on the weekend. Although if you're not like that and you're a real hard grinder, a bit more than what I am, let's say, you may even work on the weekends, which means that you definitely need to have some time in the evening to just relax a little bit, even if it's just for an hour or even half an hour, depending on what you can personally handle. But you got to schedule time off. It could be like scheduling holidays as well, giving yourself a week here and there in the year to just go away, go on holiday somewhere, or you may just want to chill out at home. Just give yourself some time to like wind down and relax as well. So you can kind of also, it's good time in those days when you have off to reflect and think about how much you've accomplished, to see how much a badass you are, basically, to see how much you've actually achieved and stuff like that, and to just kind of revel in it and just to feel pumped up for the next time you start going again. So obviously, to help keep you going, and if you feel like if you watch motivational things or you read motivational things and it still doesn't really help, one of the best things that you can do then after something like that is to write down 20 reasons why you want to achieve the things that you want to achieve. Write down 20 reasons. And I say 20 because after like the first 5 to 10 reasons, you're going to start running on empty. You're not going to be able to think of things. So it's going to take some real effort to think of the next 10 things as to why you want these things. And when you get down to those really, you start basically to find the really important things after you get past the first few. So that's why I say 20. But if you can keep on going, then write more, because the more reasons you have to do something and the more emotionally compelling those are, so that means the more inspiration it gives you, the more feeling it gives you when you're writing down these reasons, the more likely you're going to take action on them and you're actually going to achieve those things. So write down 20 or more things as to why you want to achieve all you want to achieve. And that should hopefully really, really help. That kind of process helps me. So thank you so much for watching. If you would like to get in touch with me personally, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com to get coaching with me. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye, guys.